Good morning, students. I, Mrs. V.A. Yavle, Assistant Professor in Department of Electrical Engineering, today would be discussing with you all the different forms of business enterprise. Let's first see what are the topics that we are going to cover. We will see the basic concept of business enterprise, different types of business enterprise, in which we are going to consider the three main topics: sole proprietorship, partnership, and the limited liability company. First, let us understand what is a business enterprise. A business enterprise is nothing but an activity of providing goods and services which involve financial, commercial, and industrial aspects. Nowadays, we have also started including the computer services and the computers in the business enterprise. The common forms of business enterprises are the sole proprietorship, the partnership, and the limited liability company. Let's see all these three in details. The sole proprietorship, as the name suggests, is the simplest business form under which one can operate a business. It is not a legal entity, it simply refers to a natural person who owns the business, and the person is responsible for the profits and the debts. It can be operated under the name of its owner or maybe under any fictitious name. The fictitious name is simply a trade name and it does not create a legal entity separate from the sole proprietor owner. Advantages, obviously, as we have seen, they instantly, easily, and inexpensively a owner can establish a sole proprietorship. It carries little or no formalities actually in all. They may not pay unemployment tax on himself or herself, okay? And they may freely mix business and personal assets. Disadvantage, they are subjected to unlimited personal liability for the debts, losses, and all other liabilities of the business. Owners cannot raise capital by selling an interest in the business, and sole proprietorships rarely survive the death or incapacity of their owners, and so they do not retain the value. Let's see the second form of business enterprise, which is the partnership. Obviously, as the name suggests, it's very clear that it is the association of two or more persons to carry on as co owners of a business for profit forms a partnership, whether or not the persons intend to form a partnership. Actually, the Partnership Act was initiated in 1932, and then, according to the Act, it is said that partnership is a relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. So, partners is a person who has entered into the partnership. Firm collectively is called as a firm, and the firm name is the name under which the business is carried out. It received the assent of the Governor General on 8th of April 1932 and came into force on 1st day of October 1932. As we had already discussed, it is an association between two persons or more than two persons. Agreement must be share profit of the business. It can be carried on by all or any of them acting for all. Unlimited liability, unanimity of consent, and agreement must be to carry on the business. Restrictions on transfer of interest. Because partnerships can be formed again easily, they are often formed accidentally through oral agreements. So, a partnership is formed whenever two or more persons engage jointly in business activity to pursue the profit. Different advantages. It can again be started easily and inexpensively, do not require any annual meetings or ongoing formalities. They offer favorable taxation to smaller businesses and they do not have to pay minimum taxes that which are required to pay for limited liability company, which we'll see in our next slide, and the other corporations. Disadvantage, they are unlimited personal liability for the debts, losses, and liabilities of the business. Individual partners bear responsibility for the actions of other partners. Poorly organized partnerships and oral partnerships usually lead to disputes among the owners. That was about the partnership. We are also seeing the sole proprietorship. Let's now see what we mean by limited liability company. The LLC is often described as a hybrid business form. It combines the liability protection of a corporation with the tax treatment and ease of administration of a partnership. As the name suggests, it offers liability protection to its owners for company debt and liabilities. The LLC management can elect to be taxed either as partnerships or as corporations. It can be managed like a partnership or like a corporation. It can create a board of directors and can have president and officers just like corporations. It can choose to have periodic meetings of their membership or they can choose to ignore such formalities altogether. So, the advantages of LLC, they do not require annual meetings and only require few ongoing formalities. Owners are protected from personal liability for company debts and obligations. They enjoy partnership style pass through the taxation, which is favorable to many small businesses. But there are few disadvantages also associated with this. Do not have a reliable body of legal precedent to guide owners and managers, although LLC law is becoming more reliable as time passes. It is not an appropriate vehicle for business seeking to become public eventually or to raise capital in the market. They are more expensive to set up than partnership. They usually require annual fees and periodic fillings with the state, and some states do not allow the organization of LLCs for certain professional vocations. So, students, today we had seen what basically means business enterprise and the three main forms of business enterprise: sole proprietorship, partnership, and LLC. We have also discussed the advantages and disadvantages of the same. Thank you. Thank you all.